Hello, Alpha family. You've seen them, the ones who thought they could hide in the shadows, the ones who believed they could manipulate, twist, and deceive without consequence. But not anymore. You've seen their schemes, their dark designs laid bare, and now they are scrambling. Scrambling to escape the reality that they never thought you would uncover. You exposed them. You pulled the veil back from their lies, and now they are running, trying to repair what they never should have broken in the first place. You did this, and now you have to understand the power that you've just unleashed. The world is a place where shadows hide the darkest intentions, but you've brought those intentions into the light. You've shattered the illusion they've built so carefully around themselves, and now they're left exposed, and they're scared. Not of you, but of the truth. The truth that their grip on power is slipping. The truth that their control is no longer absolute. You've revealed them for what they really are. It's hard to understand the depths of what you've just done. You've made the invisible visible. You've turned the tables on those who thought they were untouchable. Those who thought they were the ones pulling the strings are now left in disarray, scrambling to find a way out of the trap they built. But here's the thing about traps. They are only as strong as the people who built them. And those people, they never expected you. They never expected someone to rise against them with enough force to break the illusion. They never counted on you. But now that you've exposed them, they are caught in the web of their own making. They can run all they want, but they won't escape. They can try to cover up their tracks, but the damage is done. The truth is out, and the world will never forget what they tried to do. It's easy to feel a sense of accomplishment right now, but don't let that cloud your vision. Don't think that the work is done just because you've revealed the truth. What you've done is just the beginning. What you've started is a movement. You've ignited something that can't be undone. The people who once thought they controlled everything, they're running, but they're not running from you. They're running from the consequences of their own actions. You've exposed their lies, their deceit, their manipulation, and now they will pay the price, but they won't go down without a fight. No one who's built an empire on lies will simply fade into the background. They'll claw and scrape and do everything they can to salvage what's left of their crumbling world. But here's the thing, you've already won. The moment you reveal the truth, you won. It doesn't matter how they fight back. It doesn't matter what lies they try to spin. What matters is this. The truth is now in the world, and once the truth is out, it cannot be silenced, it cannot be erased, it can only be accepted, and those who refuse to accept it will have to live in the wreckage they've created. The people who thought they were untouchable now see the truth of their vulnerability. They are not gods, they are not invincible, they are just people. People who thought they could hide from the world, but who now know that the world is watching them. But the real power here is yours. You have the power to shape what happens next. You have the power to decide how this story ends. Will you let them crawl away and lick their wounds? Will you allow them to slink back into the shadows, where they can try to rebuild their empire of lies? Or will you finish what you started? Will you bring them to their knees and make sure they can never hurt anyone again? Because this is the moment that matters. This is the moment where you make your decision. You've done the hard part. You've exposed them. Now it's time to decide what happens next. And make no mistake, whatever you decide will echo through the ages. This is your story now. You are the one who holds the power. You are the one who gets to write the ending. You must understand the gravity of your position. You've done something that most people would never even dare to dream of. You've exposed the deepest, darkest corners of human nature, and now you have to live with the consequences. But don't think for a second that you've done something wrong. You've done what needed to be done. You've held the mirror up to the world and forced it to face the truth. And now, there's no going back. Those who once ruled with deceit and manipulation will never be the same. They will never see the world in the same way again. The lies they've built their entire existence on have been shattered, and they know it. The world is a different place now. You've made sure of it. You've taken the first step in a journey that will change everything. You've exposed the truth, and the truth always wins, no matter how hard they fight, no matter how much they twist it or try to bury it. The truth has already been set in motion, and there's no stopping it. The only thing they can do now is try to escape the consequences of their actions. But it's too late. They've already been exposed. They've already been caught, and no amount of scrambling will change that. But as they scramble in panic, understand this: they are not the only ones who are afraid. The world is watching. The people are watching, and they are waiting to see how this plays out, waiting to see if the truth really does win, waiting to see if the ones who dare to expose the darkness can rise up and finish what they started. You've given them hope. You've shown them that there's another way, a way where lies don't control the narrative, a way where truth reigns supreme. And now, they want to see if you'll be the one to lead them. They want to see if you'll be the one to bring justice to the broken world. They want to see if you'll be the one to make sure that those who would destroy the weak are brought down once and for all. And it's not just the world that's watching. They're watching too. The ones who thought they could hide. The ones who thought they could get away with it. And they know what's coming. They know that the truth has been unleashed and that there's no running from it now. They can try to scramble. They can try to play their games. But nothing they do will change what's already been set in motion. The clock is ticking, and they are running out of time. So what's your next move? What will you do with the power you've uncovered? Will you let them escape into the darkness? Or will you bring them into the light and make sure they never hurt anyone again? You've exposed them. Now, it's time to finish the job. The world is waiting for you to step up. The world is waiting for you to take control and make sure that justice is served. The world is waiting for you to show them that the truth always wins. And when you do that, when you stand tall and let the world know that you're not backing down, there will be no escaping the consequences of their actions. Because when you expose the darkness, there's only one thing left to do: burn it away with the light of truth. So stand tall, Alpha family. Hold your ground. Keep your focus. The world is yours to shape. And with every step you take, you'll make sure that no one ever gets away with hiding in the shadows again. The battle is far from over. But now you've got the upper hand. You've exposed them. And now they're the ones who should be afraid. In the deepest corners of their minds, they know it. They might try to hide it. They might try to act like they have everything under control, but they are terrified. They thought they were untouchable, that their lies, their manipulations, their schemes would go unnoticed forever. But the truth has been exposed, and now they're facing something they never imagined: consequences. And that's the thing about truth. It's an unstoppable force. No matter how much you try to suppress it, no matter how much power you think you have to bury it, once it's out, it can never be recontained. You've set that truth loose, and now they will have to reckon with it. You've done more than simply expose them. You've broken the chains that they used to hold the world captive. Their power, their influence, their lies, they were all based on this grand illusion. They made people believe they were invincible, that their machinations were beyond anyone's reach. But you've proven them wrong. You've shattered that illusion, and now they're standing on unstable ground, scrambling to find a way out of the mess they've created. They can try to hide, they can try to deflect, They can try to twist the narrative in their favor, but they know, deep down, that they're cornered. You've given the world a glimpse of who they really are, and once people see the truth, it's like a wildfire that cannot be put out. They might try to bury it, but the more they try, the more they expose themselves. The harder they fight to regain control, the more they reveal just how vulnerable they really are. Now you must understand this. The battle is not over. The war is just beginning. What you've exposed is only the first phase of what's to come. You've brought the truth to light, and now it's time to make sure that the world doesn't let them escape it. You've given people the power of awareness, and awareness is a weapon. With it, you can hold those who sought to deceive, to control, to destroy accountable. You can bring them down, piece by piece, until there is nothing left of their empire of lies. The world will never be the same again. They will try to scramble to patch the holes in their armor, but the cracks are already visible, and there's no going back. They'll try to push their narrative, to turn the tables, to make it seem like they're the victims in this story. But it won't work. Not anymore. The truth is too powerful. And once people have seen the truth, it's nearly impossible to erase that vision from their minds. You've done more than expose their lies. You've awakened something in the people around you. You've shown them that they have a voice. You've shown them that they don't have to remain silent while the powerful few control their lives. They can speak out. They can stand up. They can be a force for change. You've started a movement, and it's not going to stop until those who seek to manipulate and control are held accountable for their actions. But understand this, the ones who are scrambling to escape, they're not just running from the truth, they're running from the consequences of their actions. The lies they've lived by have caught up with them, and no matter how much they try to dodge, no matter how many resources they throw at the problem, they will never escape the fact that they've been exposed. They will live with the weight of that truth for the rest of their lives. Every time they look over their shoulder, every time they step into the public eye, they will know that people see them for what they truly are. And that is a punishment far worse than anything you could have ever done to them. They have no control now. You've taken that from them. The one thing that the powerful fear most is losing control. Once they lose control, they have nothing left. They can't buy their way out. They can't charm their way out. They can't manipulate the system to save themselves. And that's exactly what you've done. You've exposed their schemes, and you've stripped them of the power they once had. But don't think for a second that they'll go down without a fight. These people will claw and scrape and do everything in their power to maintain their position. They will fight dirty. They will use every trick in the book. They will manipulate the system and the people around them to stay afloat. But here's the thing. They're fighting from a position of weakness now. They're desperate. And desperation makes people sloppy. Desperation makes people vulnerable. They will make mistakes. They will slip up. And when they do, you'll be there, watching, waiting, ready to expose them once again. This is where the real power lies. Not in the first blow, not in the initial revelation. The power lies in what you do next. The power lies in how you press forward. You've already shattered their illusion of invincibility. Now you must bring them to justice. You must be the one to ensure that they face the consequences of their actions. Don't let them get away with it. Don't let them escape the truth. You have the power to bring them down. You have the power to make sure that their lies don't take root again. And this isn't just about revenge. This isn't just about watching them squirm. This is about something much bigger than that. This is about the future. This is about ensuring that no one else will ever have to endure the pain, the manipulation, the deceit that these people have caused. This is about building a world where truth matters, where integrity matters, where justice matters. You've exposed the darkness, and now it's time to turn on the light. It's time to make sure that the light shines so brightly that no one will ever be able to hide in the shadows again. You've become a beacon. The people around you, the ones who thought they had no voice, are looking to you. They're waiting for you to lead them. They're waiting for you to finish what you started. You've shown them that they don't have to be passive. They don't have to accept the world the way it is. They can change it. You've given them hope. And now it's your responsibility to carry that hope forward, to lead with courage, to lead with conviction, to lead with the unwavering belief that the truth always wins. But this is where the real challenge begins. It's easy to expose the truth. It's easy to show people what's really happening behind the curtain. But the real challenge comes in making sure that the truth sticks, in making sure that the systems of power that allowed these people to thrive are dismantled, in making sure that those who thought they could control the world with lies will never get that power back. And you know what? The ones who are scrambling right now, they're watching you, they're studying you, they're trying to figure out how they can stop you. But here's the thing, there's no way to stop you now. Not when you've seen the truth, not when you've tasted victory. The momentum is on your side, and the world is waiting for you to rise up, waiting for you to take control, waiting for you to ensure that those who have manipulated the system for their own gain never do so again. So stand tall, Alpha family. Keep pushing forward. The fight isn't over yet. But with the power you've already demonstrated, there's nothing that can stand in your way. The truth has been exposed. The world has seen it. And now, you're the one who gets to decide how this story ends. The truth will win. You will win. You see, what they didn't understand when they were plotting in their shadows, weaving webs of deceit and power, was that truth has an intrinsic force. It isn't just a collection of facts, it's the very essence of life itself. Truth is not something that can be suppressed forever. Truth is not something that can be hidden, manipulated, or distorted beyond recognition. No matter how deeply it is buried, it has a way of emerging when the time is right, and that time is now. You have been the vessel for that emergence, the one who brought that truth to the surface, and now it cannot be undone. As they scramble, as they try to cover their tracks and fight for control, they are desperately trying to hold back the tide that is already flooding in. It's inevitable now. They will fight, of course. They'll throw everything they have left into the fray. But it won't matter. Not in the long run. Because in the end, the truth doesn't need defending. It doesn't need embellishment. It doesn't need to be manipulated or reformed to fit anyone's agenda. It simply is. And no matter how many times they try to rewrite the narrative, the truth will continue to shine through. The truth has power, and that power cannot be defeated by fear, by wealth, or by lies. They thought they could escape. They thought that as long as they could keep the curtain drawn, no one would ever see what was behind it. But you tore that curtain down. You opened the door. And now, they are faced with a new reality. A reality where the consequences of their actions can no longer be ignored. There is no safe place for them to hide. There is no way to undo the damage that has been done. They know this. And that's why they are scrambling, because the realization is settling in. Everything they've built is fragile. It was built on a lie, and lies have no foundation. Lies may stand tall for a time, but eventually they collapse. And the bigger the lie, the harder it falls. As they fight back, as they try to rewrite their story, remember this: the more they resist, the more they expose themselves. The more they try to cover up, the more they reveal just how deep their deception goes. They will stumble. They will make mistakes. Because no matter how hard they try to cover up their tracks, there will always be a part of them, some tiny crack that shows the truth. You've cracked the wall, and now it's just a matter of time before it all comes tumbling down. The truth, like water, will find its way through any crack, no matter how small. It will pour in, it will flood in, and there will be no stopping it. And that is where you come in. The power you've already unleashed is undeniable, but now it is time to take that power and wield it with precision. You have done the hard work. You've exposed them for who they truly are. You've pulled back the curtain and shown the world the darkness that lurked behind it. But you must not stop there. The truth needs to be safeguarded. It needs to be protected, amplified, and used as a weapon. You have to make sure that the lies don't creep back in. You have to make sure that the people who have been deceived by these manipulators don't slip back into ignorance. You have to lead them. The world is watching. You've already shown the world what they are capable of, what lies they've lived on, how far they were willing to go to get what they wanted. The truth you've brought forward has inspired those who once felt powerless to rise up and demand justice. And now, you are the leader in this revolution. You are the one who holds the sword. You have the power to change everything, but it is up to you to make the next move. The truth has set the stage, but you are the one who will decide what happens next. This is not just about watching them fall. It's about ensuring they never rise again. You've shown them that they cannot control the world forever. They cannot keep the masses in the dark for eternity. And now, it's time to finish what you've started. The lies they've told cannot be allowed to continue to fester. They cannot be allowed to regain control over the people who have seen the truth. They are no longer the masters. You've become the master. You hold the key to the future, and you must decide what will be done with that key. The choice is yours. Will you let them slink back into the shadows, licking their wounds, learning nothing from the truth you exposed? Or will you make sure they are held accountable? Will you stand firm, unwavering in your commitment to justice, and demand that the world pay the price for the manipulation that has taken place? Will you make sure that the foundation of lies they built their empire on is torn down completely? Because now, that is your responsibility. You've shown the world their crimes, their deceit, their exploitation. But it is not enough to simply expose them. You must ensure that their crimes do not go unpunished. You must make sure that the people they hurt are given justice. You must make sure that those who believed in their lies, who were blinded by their manipulation, are never again subjected to such deception. And don't think for a moment that this will be easy. It won't be. They won't go quietly into the night. They will fight for every scrap of power they have left. They will claw and scrape and try to manipulate their way back into the world they once controlled. But the thing is, they are already on borrowed time. The moment you exposed them, their reign was over. It was only a matter of time before they would be forced to answer for their actions. But you have a choice to make, and that choice will define you. Will you continue to expose their lies, to fight for the truth, to make sure that those who once believed in them can never fall prey to their manipulation again? Or will you let them get away with it? Will you stand by and watch as they rebuild the empire of lies they once ruled? The world has changed because of what you've done. The truth has been revealed, and now there is no going back. But the world needs leaders who will stand firm in the face of adversity. The world needs people who are willing to fight for what's right, even when the odds are stacked against them. The people who once followed the manipulators now look to you for direction. They look to you for the strength to stand up to the darkness. They look to you for the courage to expose the truth and make sure it sticks. You have become more than just someone who exposed the truth. You have become the catalyst, for a revolution. You have shown the world that they do not have to sit idly by while the powerful few control their lives. You've shown them that the truth is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. And now, it's time to take that truth and push forward. It's time to make sure that the manipulators never get the chance to deceive anyone again. But remember this is not a battle for the faint of heart. The people you've exposed will stop at nothing to regain control. They will attempt to divide the truth, distort it, and turn the people against each other. They will throw every resource they have into making sure they are not held accountable. But that's where you come in. You are the anchor in this storm. You are the one who will hold the line. You are the one who will guide the people toward justice, toward accountability, toward a future where truth is valued and manipulation is no longer allowed to thrive. You've exposed them. Now it's time to finish the job. The world is waiting for you to step up. The people are waiting for you to lead them into a new era. This is your moment. Make sure you don't waste it. The truth will win. You will win. And when the dust settles, when the battle is over, you'll stand as the victor, not just because you exposed the lies, but because you made sure the truth prevailed. In the end, the truth always triumphs. You've exposed the lies, shattered the illusions, and shown the world the power of what's real. Now, it's time to ensure that those who sought to deceive are held accountable. The fight doesn't end with exposure. It continues until justice is served. You have the strength, the resolve, and the leadership to see this through to the end. The world is watching, and with every step you take, you move closer to a future where manipulation has no place. Stand firm, stay focused, and know that the truth will always win.